Hi friends, welcome to this fertility yoga class to encourage circulation in the body. So this particular class is going to be great if you're having any issues to do with circulation, whether that's to do with poor lining quality or whether you've got hormonal imbalance. Good circulation in the body is an important part of helping these conditions. This particular class is designed for pre-ovulation and ovulation, so skip it if you've got your period and skip it if you're in your 2-week wait. I do have other classes that I've already created for those stages of the cycle, and I'll leave them linked below if you want to go and check them out. If you are brand new to fertility yoga, I have a free guide and that will be linked below as well for you to download after the class. Let's get straight into it. All right, so we're going to start just by working gently into the hips. So I want you to bring the ankle of one foot over the opposite knee. So it's up to you where this other foot will sit, depending on how much range of movement you have in this hip. Bring the hands behind you, however is comfortable. They're just there for support. And I just want you to rock and roll the legs from side to side. So you'll be rolling over those glutes. It should feel like quite a nice little massage for the glutes. But also we're starting to work into the hips. You might be noticing tight spots in your body. And just gently breathing here. I want you to also notice the quality of your breath. So breathing in and out through the nose. And I want you to see if you can notice how much you can fill your lungs up. And is there more space there for you to breathe a little deeper? More fully into that low belly perhaps. And then just let the legs rock back to center. Bring the left foot down. Take the right ankle across the left knee, flexing the foot and coming to rock and roll on this side. So one of the qualities that I really hope to impart in all of my fertility yoga classes is just this embracing slow, which is so hard when you're on a fertility journey because you already feel like you're running behind. The clock is ticking, it's already too late. And if you've been struggling for a while, this can be a really hard concept to let go of, but it just creates struggle when you're feeling like you're behind and you're running on this stressed energy of needing to do more, be more, and just go, go, go. And so I always want to encourage you to just let your yoga practice be, even if this is the only time in the day where you can slow it down. So even now in this pose, are you rushing? Are you trying to push through, get to the next pose? Are you feeling like, come on, Bettina, when are we getting to the next thing? Can you just be here and now? And even I do this, even now, I'm always looking forward. And it's my biggest lesson to try and come back to just being here and now. All right, release that foot down. Bring the soles of the feet together. So we're coming into our butterfly. The knees are falling out to the side. It's perfectly okay if your knees are quite high. We're just going to take a few circles here. So you can hold onto the ankles, roll yourself right back onto those sit bones, and then move forward. So it's almost like the upper part of your body is stirring the lower part of your body. Should feel quite nice through the belly. If you've got any indigestion issues, this often can help those. Help release those, and then rock and roll the opposite way. Keep that breath moving through the body. See if you can keep the shoulders soft as well. So you get a little bit of a shoulder stretch as you kind of hang into the arms. See if you can soften into those spaces as well. And then we're going to move into our Malasana. So that means we come into quite a low squat. So your feet, you'll have to work out what position works best for you. Some people can find quite comfortably the heels to the ground. Mine don't work like that anymore. It will just depend on your hip structure and your bone structure. So don't stress too much. As long as you can feel the stretch through the inner thigh, you're doing it right. Engage the elbows into the inside of the knees and then see if you can find a little bit of length through the spine. If this doesn't feel comfortable, keep the hands grounded and find length this way. And again, maybe find a bit of movement, rocking side to side here. Remember, we're working with circulation, so we want to release any blockages that we might be holding in the pelvis, any tight points where perhaps ligaments and tendons are holding a little bit too tightly than they should be. We're just encouraging those to open and soften. Keep the breath moving through the body. And then we're going to come to one side of the mat as we stretch the other leg out in our Skandasana. So this one feels really nice through that hamstring, and I want you to inhale, take a big breath in, lengthen through the spine, and then see if you can exhale and soften forward. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, soften forward. Inhale. And as you exhale this time, we're going to come all the way to the opposite side, sitting down in our Skandasana on this side. So you might be able to come quite low, you might be quite tight through the hamstring. So just honor where your body is today. It doesn't have to look like my body looks. And then we work with that breath. So inhale, finding length through the spine. Exhale, see if you can soften in a little. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Well, this time we're going to come into our goddess pose, a bit of a strength pose. I want you to turn the toes out, keep the hands grounded to start with, and then work up onto the thighs. So we're going to come quite low in this pose. Keep the hands grounded on the thighs, take a nice deep seat into the legs. You might rock from side to side if that feels good. If it doesn't, you can find stillness. And then bring the hands down. We're going to find our forward fold. So turn all 10 toes in the one direction. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold in. So you get a really nice stretch through the legs here. But we're going to stay with the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale and exhale, just settling in here. So you might find the elbows, you might rest the hands on the ground, the forearms on the ground, whatever works for you. And then I want you to walk the hands around to one side. And we're going to step back into our tabletop, bringing the knees down. So coming with our hands underneath our shoulders, our knees under our hips. And from our tabletop pose here, I'm going to shift the weight onto one side. So I want you to press the shin, the top of the foot, everything into the mat here as you take the leg out. I'm just going to make some circles here. So imagine your knee is a pencil and you're going to draw with your knee, taking some circles in one direction and then see if you can reverse in the opposite direction. See if you can keep the breath steady. It is quite a challenging pose as the rest of the body has to engage to hold you stable. And then release the leg down. Let's take some big circles through the hips. So no rhyme or reason here, just moving in a way that feels good for your body. And then we come to the opposite side. So shift the weight onto the left side. We start taking those circles with the right knee. And reverse the direction. All right, we're going to come all the way down onto the belly now. So lower yourself all the way down. And to start with, let's just take a crocodile, resting everything into the mat. Again, no rhyme or reason, just softening in. And then now we're going to work with a little bit of compression into that pelvis and low belly, helping to use a bit of flushing to help with circulation. So bring the hands by the shoulders as you inhale. Most of the weight is in that low belly and the support is in the back. So if I lift my hands off, I've got that compression through lifting the upper back, not through lifting into the hands. So see if you can stay reasonably low and ask the back to do the work. Press the pubic bone into the floor, engage through the legs. Still breathing here, but you'll notice the breathing is slightly affected by the position of the body. And then exhale, soften down. Let the hips rock side to side, getting everything moving again. All right, our next pose, I'm going to give you some options. So you can either work with bow pose, which helps to do a bit of constriction in that pelvic area as well. You can place the hands as fists down onto either side of the pubic bone and work there, lifting up here. Or you can just come back into that cobra variation. So it's completely up to you. Take a deep breath in, moving into this pose. And then when you're ready, releasing all the way back to child's pose, forehead to the floor. And just settle in here. On your next breath, coming back up to your tabletop, we're coming into our frog pose. So I want you to bring the knees to the outside of the mat. And if you've got slippery tiles like me, the knees are going to fall out quite quickly. The toes point out to the side. This can be a bit of a pose where some of us feel a little bit like, are we ever going to get out of this pose? So only move in as much as you're comfortable. You can work with one leg at a time if it's too much. And it does take quite a bit of relaxation to let yourself soften in and really open through those hips. At any time you need, you can move forward or back to increase the pose. So just work with where your body is at today. Aim for 5 full deep breaths here. And when you're ready to, you can tuck the feet in, slowly walk the body back so that you can bring the knees back in. Let's do a little bit of a recalibration, bringing those knees in, squeezing them in, just taking a little bit of a circle through the hips one way, and then the other. And then doing a little bit of a seated cat-cow to finish. So inhale, opening up through the chest. Exhale and round. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. As you inhale, take the arms wide, drawing some energy up and drawing it into your heart. Inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. Hands to heart. Close down the eyes, bow down the head. Just taking a moment here to honor everything that you've been through, everything that your body provides, even when sometimes it can feel like it's failing. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. As always, it is an honor. Namaste. Thanks again for being here. If you would like to practice classes for the other stages of the cycle, you can find them all in my online yoga circle. There'll be a link below for the free 30-day trial. I would love to see you in there. See you again soon. Namaste.